So delving into all these different things that you're getting into, like you doing the drawing, draw.
Drawing.
It's a weird word to say when you actually
Yeah,
sound
it
it out.
is. Words are weird. If
When you're doing the art
yeah, when I
and
do the art.
the book and this, is it like allowing you to understand yourself more? Is it creating new passageways in your brain that you didn't understand it
Yeah,
from before?
that's a good question.
Hmm.
I feel like the reason I'm doing so much of this is because everyone does things to pass the time, and I realized that a lot of things I did before was just a way for me to just cope, to distract myself. Now I try to do that less often and actually cope in a much better way, as in doing exercise. I don't know if I ever gave you my whole speech on the stress thing, the coping mechanisms.
The breathing.
Yeah, the breathing exercise. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that has much deeper roots. Like I've created a very interesting mental structure about it, which I'm gonna put in a book because I feel like that's very unique and a very unique approach to things. But anyway, the reason I do all those things, like drawing and everything, is because I want to like do stuff to pass the time that will actually like help me and like improve time, like and improve my skills and make me more interesting.
Yeah.
Because I feel like being artistic is quite cool.
It is very cool.
Not many people do it.
I think your personality is a very interesting personality. I think
Really?
your character is quite interesting. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I wonder how you see me from the outside.
Well, someone who's invested all of this, their time and their effort into being committed to, creating a podcast, writing a book, even doing, it does make you more interesting.
Yeah.
Is that something you struggle with though, like feeling like you're not quite adequate in the space of others?
Yeah. As I said, my biggest trauma is I've never been recognised for my personality.
Just those bloody looks of yours, mate. Just that stunning jawline, chiseled by the gods.
I'm blushing. No, but yeah. Maybe it is, yeah. Maybe I just want to be recognised for that. I feel like you've got a lot of like
obscure friends.
Yeah, a lot of them. Like they're not like related.
Quite similar to me though. Like your friendship group isn't like the extent of your connections.
Yeah, no. I've got a lot of friends, to be honest. Like I've always had in a way. I feel like you have as well. I feel like me and you are both very social.
I feel like we're quite interesting that we don't like take much interest in a person's like social standing, as it were.
Yeah,
in terms of how people view them.
I never cared about that. I feel like that's why I was never at the top. Cause
you don't have to prove something.
Yeah, a lot of people at the top, like at school, they were so strict on themselves because they had to be.
Perceptions matter.
Yeah.
In that environment.
Yeah. So, what kind of things do you do nowadays? Which is, you said you work a lot mentally. What did you mean by that?
Well, I'm constantly I feel like I'm constantly battling my own mentality and how I view the world, and constantly taking on new pieces of information and knowledge and trying to understand who exactly Jermaine Harris is. It's
Have you found it?
You see, I don't necessarily truly understand Jermaine Harris. He's hard to understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the journey towards self. It's very long. We were discussing it last week, right, about finding inner peace. I'm not even seeking that. I'm just seeking a better understanding. Yeah. Which, like you are doing at the moment with your drawing and your commitments to bettering your time, like what you're doing with your time.
Yeah.
It gets you. It helps you on that journey. I don't know. Maybe I should start writing again. I've not properly written in a while.
Yeah.
I used to do it a lot.
Well, how come you stopped then?
I've read an interesting quote the other day about writing. It's like you write only when you're in love or completely broken, and I related to it because they're both two entirely different feelings, but they're two things that inspire creativity and expression. Love and brokenness. It's yeah. So I guess at the moment I'm not in either like stage, so the inspiration is not really there for me. I'm just kind of um, floating along the currents of life.
Yeah.
I know that I want to be someplace. I'm just not too sure how to get there. I've got a rough understanding.
Where do you want to be?
I want to be. I'm not sure. I just envision myself going a long way in life.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I place a lot of expectations on myself for that, which is linked to the seeking a better understanding in myself. But I've lessened it, recently, in the last couple of months, because I feel like I am doing things. Like I'm not just wasting my time, like going out drinking just to waste time, or, using things to heal me. I'm more
Yeah, you
focused on just
definitely
allowing life to wash
matured.
over me.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Yeah. I don't know. You definitely, cause I had you on Snapchat last year or the last few years. I've seen the journeys you've been on.
I used to be crazy. Because for a year of my life, I was just floating around, like, picking up odd jobs and not really being able to hold
Yeah.
them down and, um, you know, wasting time meandering, around with the wrong sorts of people. So I completely understand why she may feel that way.
Yeah. Right.
So, but yeah, I feel like the support of children, nurturing them, and caring for them, it's something that is very important, in
No.
raising a society, in allowing a society to flourish.
100%. I feel like that's where people just get messed up. Childhood, If your childhood is not to the right standard, if that's why people become psychopaths and murderers, it's just a lot of things we experience as a child manifests itself into our adulthood.
Yeah.
Everything, basically.
I mean, everyone's a little broken though.
Yeah, you need
There's
to be
no
a little bit broken.
perfect or ideal to life. It's just
In
what
my
you make of it.
opinion, we shouldn't try to avoid people from experiencing traumas in life. We should instead teach people how to deal with those traumas. I feel like that is more realistic, and that would make a big difference.
I feel like it's definitely linked with the mental health crisis that's been occurring, especially in young people in the last couple of years, because society constantly tells you that you shouldn't be feeling that certain way, that you should always be striving to be happy and
Yeah.
aim for perfection and achieve your goals. And if you're not achieving this now, then what are you doing? It's the grind mentality. You see it with people like Andrew Tate and the Sigma community. So I agree. Like, as a society, I definitely think it's important that we address that life is simply imperfect, and
Yeah.
you've got to be able to cope with the.
What is perfect,
Well, yeah.
Imperfection is perfection.
Imperfection is perfection. Yeah. There's no such thing as perfection.
No.
You can't close. You can get close.
Yeah. But no, I definitely agree with you on the whole grinding constantly, the hustle culture. It's
Yeah.
it can be very negative as well. In ways it's good, but it can also be very bad. You should always give yourself enough time for yourself. That is most important. That is more important than work, more important than relationships, family. It's yourself. That is what the majority of your time should be going towards, and you shouldn't feel like you're wasting your time every time you are actually caring about yourself and taking care of your mental health.
Yeah, it's like I said, I think it's something that needs to be addressed more. You can start in education. I think education has a lot of components that make it work for what society needs it to be. But in terms of addressing mental health and physical health, things along those lines, I think schools should play a bigger role in educating children on this.
No, yeah, definitely. Let's just get more casual now.
Okay.
I've actually got some funny stories I've prepared for this. Let's
Really?
just let's bring the mood up a little bit, you know. Being very dual, very personal, political. This story dates back to when we first really moved out here in England when I was like about 6 or 7. I remember this day vividly because my mom tells it every opportunity she gets. And this involves my younger brother Vince and my mom. This one time when my mom was dropping my brother off at school, I was there as well. But he went to primary, I went to secondary, or the next stage, elementary, whatever. And my mum was dropping my brother off, but my mum left my brother without, giving him a kiss goodbye. And what many people don't know about kiss is the word kiss in Hungarian is pussy.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. But anyway,
That
what
might
happens?
cause some problems.
Yeah,
In certain
just a little bit. So my mum leaves my brother,
Mm.
and my brother's like kind of looking back, all like sad because he didn't get a kiss goodbye. So he just starts running back to my mum, shouting "pussy" in front of a bunch of people, just staring at her. I got a lot of secondhand embarrassment.
Was that his first day? Did you say of like starting school?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It was like he was very young. He was like 4, 5 maybe. I don't know.
Good first impressions. Eh?
Yeah. So that was a very interesting,
Funny stories.
funny stories.
Levity. It's a great tool.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of stories, but I can't because now you put the pressure on me to equal you out.
No,
You know what I
it's,
mean?
it's alright. It's alright. I've just never told that story before to anyone, really.
Really? But your
Yeah,
mother-
outside my family.
Your mum
like,
loves to.
My mum
recount
loves
it.
to. My mum loves to. Funny stories.
When did you start your spiritual journey?
That's a good question. I think I started my spiritual journey when I discovered DNA code. But before then, like, I didn't really. I'm still not very spiritual now. I mean, sure, I like philosophy and thinking differently outside of the box, but I wouldn't say I'm very spiritual. Like, there's a limited amount of things I believe from an actual spiritual aspect. I mean, what is being spiritual? Like, what is the modern spirituality?
To be spiritual is to find a connection where connection is not at first visible. I think, like, that would be my definition of spirituality.
No, that was good. I was
Yeah.
like,
There is an actual definition of spirituality, but when that word comes to mind, that's what I believe. Seeking out connection,
yeah,
a deeper understanding.
I've definitely tried to practice that more, try to find a connection.
Well, like you were saying, it's probably part of you without you even really considering it or like taking it on board. Like how we were talking about 10 minutes ago with like the friends,
Yeah,
like being able to have a wide range of friends who don't necessarily all believe the same things and who are in very different social circles. I think it's a skill. It's a skill of being able to
accept them and just
accept someone's true self and not be judgmental of the differences.
yeah, that's very true.
What did you go and watch recently?
We watched the new Indiana Jones.
Oh, did you? Any good?
They've messed the end up a lot. I mean, I don't know if you're ever gonna watch it.
I've never watched an Indiana Jones movie in its entirety.
It can get quite crazy, quite hectic, and now they've really raised the bar. I think it's the last movie they made for the Indiana Jones, but they went back in time.
Oh, really?
For a very, like, non-supernatural movie, going back in time is very...
Quite far.
But near the end, Indiana Jones, I mean, Harrison Ford, I don't even know how old he is now, like 80 or something.
Nearing on 80, I imagine, if he's not already over 80.
He's, like, bleeding out on a hill, watching, like, the old, like, because they went back in time to the old Roman era.
Really?
Watching one of, like, the biggest fights elapse in the Roman era, like, sat on a hill, just, like, bleeding out, looking into the sunset. Like, an actual decent way to end a movie, right?
Yeah.
And then this character, goddamn, comes in, and she's like, "No, we're taking you home." And then you just...
saves
He wakes
him.
up in a hospital. Yeah, like no, she punches him because he's resisting and going home. He's like, I want to die here, but she's like, no, knocks him out, and then he wakes up in hospital and
So he can die in the
yeah,
nursing home. Suppose like
just so lame. Honestly, like I don't know why they did that, but
Mads Mikkelsen is the villain in the film, right?
he does a good job.
I love Mads Mikkelsen as an actor. I think he's incredible.
I've not seen many of his movies.
Hannibal is on Netflix at the moment. He stars as Hannibal. It's an
Okay.
incredible TV show. You'd probably really enjoy it because it focuses on psychology and FBI investigations.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Hannibal's like an actual psychiatrist, so it's quite interesting.
that's cool.
As well as being a murderer. So
It's always cool being a murderer, right?
yeah, just a little oddball.
I don't really watch much movies nowadays.
Well, I feel like I've always been a movie buff, and I guess it's a good thing that now I've decided that I want to go into the world of acting.
Yeah.
As an art, it's quite good that I've got an extensive knowledge of film.
No, it's good. I think movies are like it can be a good thing and a bad thing. Like if you're just constantly watching movies all day and not doing anything with your life, that's
Yeah.
when it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, I say I haven't watched a movie in ages. I go to the cinema occasionally. For me, it's a social thing. Movies now.
It's an experience, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't just put on a movie like here at home and just, or even social media. I don't really watch anything.
Well, for me, it's like it's all about the quality and the substance of the material that you're watching. Like, I'm not trying to make digs at my sister, but I'll see what she's watching sometimes on her TV,
Right.
and I just won't understand how she could put herself through watching it because the actual material, it's like it's just garbage TV, stuff that's regurgitated season after season, film after film, and you can tell because she normally just puts her phone on, like she's like scrolling while she's watching it. It's like a distraction. Whereas for me, that like it completely eliminates the point of film. Like film is art to me, and the purpose of art is to tell a narrative. It could be with words or with images, but the purpose is narrative driven. Like it's meant to be something you think about. So in that sense, that's how I really enjoy film. Like I like watching those.
You like appreciating it.
Yeah.
No,
Like
I
I'm a
think
buff.
that's good.
I'm a film buff.
Yeah. No, I definitely used to be as well.
Yes, Mads Mikkelsen though. I want to recommend you two things that he's watched, even though
Okay.
I know that you just said you don't like watching.
No, I
films
mean
at all.
if it's with someone else, like I watch it.
Well, you
But,
could
like,
watch Hannibal with your girlfriend. Maybe
I
it's a
could,
nice
I
TV
could.
show.
Yeah.
But another film, Druck. I'm pretty sure it's a
Duck.
Druck. It's German. No, not German. Dutch.
Right.
Danish. He's Danish, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a Danish film, but it's about these teachers who, one of them, they're all like in their midlife. They don't really know what they're doing. And one of them decides to follow this psychology study that was made by, it's an actual study, and it's like if you maintain a certain amount of alcoholism or alcohol level in your body, if it improves your life. So,
What is that like? Facts or just like fantasy or whatever?
well, no, it was an actual psychological study, and the film is about it. But yeah, it's very good. It's called Another Round. Like that's what it'll be in English.
Is this movie like an excuse for alcoholics here?
No, it's a thought provoking film. Like it's up to you. Like the story's tragic, but it's uplifting, and at the end, it's very much like how you interpret the film.
Right, I see.
So
No, I mean it sounds cool. Yeah.
Another Round. It's on Netflix as well.
Okay.
Highly recommend. But yeah, so
You know all the good movies.
mm,
Is he your favorite actor?
as a film buff, who's my favorite actor? Oof. I don't have one. I have like phases where I'm interested in a particular person's work for a while.
Yeah.
So I've had a Ryan Gosling phase recently.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling's a great actor. Beyond the Pines and Drive were two movies I watched of his recently. Very good. Very good.
Recently, I really like the actor who plays the bad guy in the new Star Wars movies. The recent ones.
Which bad guy? What's his name? Long hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. I think he's in a lot of good movies. Like,
His name completely
I don't know actors'
escapes me
names.
now.
We'll put it on the screen.
Yeah.
That's him.
Yeah, the power of editing.
God, I'm gonna hate myself doing that. It's just extra work. I don't know how to put text on yet. Just gonna have to research or.
It's so useful though that you are like having the energy and the commitment to take up these different fronts
Yeah.
because it's just going to be so beneficial for you in the
Yeah.
future to have so many different skills.
Yeah. Yeah. True. I hope so. But sometimes I definitely feel like, why am I learning this skill? Am I ever gonna need it?
Mm.
But my brother said something interesting the other day. Like, a lot of the times in life, like, things will just start piecing together. Like, you remember 2 years ago, like, you just had the urge to learn a specific skill, and it only comes useful in those 2 years, or a thing you want to do is unlocked already because you learned that skill originally.
You have to
And
wait for the payoff.
yeah, that is very, very true. So essentially, you should try and learn anything really,
Mm.
just whatever interests you, because you never know when you're gonna need it.
So one of my regrets from school, like dossing off when it came to like language classes especially. Like
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just like a joke. Like nobody really
yeah,
took French or Spanish
yeah.
seriously.
A
But
shame, a shame.
yeah, like looking back, like the ability to be able to be multilingual, just so beneficial.
It is, yeah.
Makes you look really sexy as well, really sexy and smart. You know, I was saying this. I was saying this in school, talking to a sociology teacher
What's that?
about traveling and like the power of being able to speak multiple languages. And I was just saying, delusional confidence. Um, I'm already a handsome guy, but imagine if I was able to woo you in French. You know what I mean?
You said that to the teacher.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I guess that's a
What did
little
she?
that's a little funny.
What did they
story
say?
for-
What did they say?
Yeah, she smiled. She smiled. Yeah.
What's like the oldest woman you have, you know, had something with?
She had an 18-year-old son.
Wow. Okay.
I was 18.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna like show off mine a little bit here, right? But goddamn, that's old.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
happened? What
cool.
happened? All right.
What happened with mine and what happened with yours? I thought.
You tell me.
Of course, I was walking a night out. I was walking home from a night out, and I was just wanting to keep to myself, just get home, and this woman comes up behind me and she's like, "Oh, we're walking the same way. Do you mind if I walk with you?"
Really?
Yeah, and I was like,
If
"Yeah,
people
sure."
only just came up to me like that. I wish.
It's the good looks, but now you scare them off. They're like, how can I interact with him? You know what I mean?
Don't need to get uglier.
But yeah, so we just ended up walking together, and ended up kissing because I'm a romantic like that.
Well, no, you don't just end up Well, yeah, you do. To be honest, you do. You do.
Yeah, you do. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
She was like, "Oh, how old are you, by the way? Do you know my son?"
I can't remember the actual conversation to be honest.
Yeah.
Cool. I've never been to a festival. I
No.
feel like it would.
You need to.
It'd be like my sort of environment, but at the same time,
I wish you came
not
to
sure.
Hungary for the festival. I wish you had
Yeah.
the finances for
I've
that.
been listening to people's stories about Burning Man in California in America.
Yeah.
That sounds very interesting because it's like, from how they describe it, it's like a self-sufficient community for a week that's literally just built in the middle of the desert, and
Yeah.
then when it's done, it's just taken.
I've seen
down.
pictures. Looks really good. Have you ever heard of the Fire Festival that went down a couple of years ago?
The Fire Festival, I believe so. Where was it?
It was like on an island, and a bunch of people got scammed because like it didn't actually happen. Or it was
Really?
not what. There's a whole Netflix documentary about it I watched a while ago. It is crazy what happened, man. Crazy.
I feel like I'm quite susceptible to being scammed. I feel like because I'm very like open with
Yeah.
strangers,
Yeah.
which
You're easily deceived because you
Mm.
do not know people's real intentions. You do not feel them. You think you know it, but it's not always.
I feel like I like to see the best when I'm interacting with a person.
Yeah.
And I'm always taken aback if someone's immediate response, like if you try and start up a conversation,
Yeah.
is to come across like aggressively.
Mm.
Like it weirds me out. Like I don't understand. Like
Mm.
I guess people have barriers, you know. It's just
Yeah.
I'm very much not like that.
Oh, it's fair enough. Everyone has their everyone has their strengths and weaknesses.
Mm.
You know. Well, I don't know. I don't like. Every time I drink alcohol, maybe that's why I don't really like it that much. I get too open, and then I just
Well,
feel too vulnerable.
do you think you naturally like repressed? Like you like to hide certain
Yeah,
emotions?
that is my natural emotional type.
Mm.
Actually, I'm very. It's because I have very low energy in this area where your emotions really come from, and if I get hurt, I don't have the emotional energy to bounce right back up like you do. It takes me ages to recover. It takes me a long time to really process it and like actually get over things, and that's why I don't put myself out there,
Mm.
because I know if I get hurt, it will be for the worst. It can be deadly, if you
Mm.
get really hurt. That's why the people who are more vulnerable, the people who have less energy in their, you know, emotional level, they will be more sensitive and more private, more,
Closed
emotionless.
off.
Yeah.
Mm. It's interesting. I definitely get hurt. It's not like an easy thing for me to
No,
just,
yeah,
you know.
you do definitely.
Mm.
It's not saying you can't get hurt, but you can take rejection better. It's not saying you can take rejection well, but
Mm.
you can take rejection better. But obviously, there's other factors that go into it as well, like how bad the rejection is, how bad you are hurt.
Mm.
But let's say if we compared the same type of stimuli, the same type of event, um, let's say we were the same people, but with different emotional energy,
Yeah.
you could get over it much faster. You could,
I guess that's a benefit.
No, that's
Yeah.
one of your strengths. You can just bounce right back up after relationship to relationship, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How was the traveling? I assume it definitely helped you broaden your horizon, especially being able to travel with a romantic partner
Yeah.
because it just must make it better overall, like
Mm.
an
Yeah, no,
experience to be
yeah. It was
remembered.
good. That's when I developed this plan,
Mm.
this whole thing, when I was traveling, because I started seeing. We went to really nice places. We went to Monaco. We went to all these very like 5-star. We didn't go inside, but we just went outside because we just wanted to see what the rich life was. And we went into Louis Vuitton when we were in Barcelona or like Monaco. Or, like we went to all these like nice places, not spending a lot of money. We were just imagining what it could have been like being that rich, and that definitely set the standard, set the like the my goal of like why can't I be like this rich? Why
Mm.
can't I be appointed like a successful to be able to have these things? Like why not me? And I feel like traveling helped me with that a lot. Just like creating a better mindset and like a better target.
I think everyone should travel.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
I feel like it is definitely a necessity.
Yeah.
It just gets you out of the very tribal state
Mm.
that being in one place can give you. You know,
Yeah.
oh, this is my country, this is my pride. Anyone who comes in who's not from here, they're the enemy, they're
I
the
know.
unknown. You
It's
know,
a very
that's where most ignorance sprouts from, I think, and
and
that's how it's
racism and
maintained. Yeah,
everything like that. Yeah.
obviously there's factors to it, like facets. Obviously, like most of the people who hold these thoughts are in the lower classes, and the reason that they can't travel is because of the wealth that they have.
Yeah, boy,
So,
it's not even that expensive to be honest.
mm,
Traveling, like you can pick the perfect time of the year, the cheap accommodations. Like you just gotta do your research really. Like I went away for a month for
mm,
less than £2,000.
yeah.
That is with food, accommodation, travel, everything involved, and entertainment. Like, we
Where
would
were
go
you,
in nice
where were you
places.
staying?
Airbnbs. And
Mm.
we split prices obviously, but I mean Airbnb like for a week, 300.
So when you were traveling, it was like from one country to the
Yeah,
next. That's oh,
yeah.
it's
We
amazing.
we stayed a week Valencia, a week in Barcelona, a week in Mallorca, and a week in Nice. Like
How would you travel? Is it through
Train,
plane or train?
train or plane, yeah.
I think I'd prefer train because then you actually move in through the country
Yeah,
as well, and it's yeah.
I mean it's a bit difficult going from a train to from Barcelona to Mallorca because
Well, I don't
the
really have.
sea,
Yeah. Oh yes.
it's an
Well,
island.
yes.
Well,
Geography.
geography, no, it's alright. How would you have known that? You don't know that, do you?
I have been to Mallorca. I just was young.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. I
Mm.
don't care about that. What's the best place you've been then? The nicest place
Hmm. The nicest place I've been.
that you remember? Because that's a big part.
Yeah. Hmm. You know what? I don't have a clear answer. My time in Spain as a kid, we'd go to Spain pretty much every year. We were very lucky in terms of being able to fly away constantly year after year.
Yeah,
Probably a reason why I am so open to different cultures now because I spent a lot of time around a different culture.
yeah,
Um, Probably Spain. Like when I think of Spain, I think of the smell of the streets and
yeah. It's
the
got a very
pavements
distinct
and just the
smell.
look and yeah. I've definitely not been traveling as much as I'd like to. Like your story of travel.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
very
I don't
very
think
cool.
many people have
Yeah, it's very
really.
cool.
Yeah.
Very adventurous as well.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It was a big plan.
How long was the planning like motion for? When did it come to mind?
I knew I wanted to do it for like a year, but I didn't get till Hannah with Hannah. Or I didn't know if Hannah was gonna come with me. I knew I was gonna do it. I was
Mm.
either gonna go by myself or she was gonna come with me. I didn't know if she was gonna take a gap year because I knew I was gonna do it in my gap year in September. So I created it was like mainly for like the plan for a year. I learned Spanish before I went as well, so I could speak to the locals. That was when we went into a club and I was speaking Spanish to a local. There was a few words I didn't know obviously because I'm not fluent.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was just speaking a different language with someone who didn't speak English, just
Mm.
connecting.
I think you're definitely one of the more interesting people I've ever encountered, and
Ah,
that's a big compliment for me because I've encountered a lot of weird and
thank you,
wonderful
man.
people.
Appreciate that.
Mm.
Nah, that actually makes me feel good. Nah, you too. You know that. I always say that.
Thank you. Yeah.
I feel like because me and you are just both so open to grow.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, you need to grow as a person, you know? Have you ever read Rich Dad Poor Dad?
No.
It's basically the idea of, it's like a good little, a lot of people know this book, so I'm not going to explain it much, but it's like a kind of an entrepreneurship book, really.
Mm.
What really inspired me on this journey, or what kind of helped me get the confidence for this journey. And it's the idea of putting yourself in a situation where you pick the harder things out of desperation, where you kind of think outside the box, as in, for this year I forced myself to not get a job, to not go to a supermarket, to not pick the easy option,
Not go the conventional way.
and yeah, but you still need money.
Mm.
You know, my parents don't give me money like that. So this past year, my brain's been very creative on, okay, how can I make money without doing this, without doing that, and like I've had to do a lot of things which have been harder than just going that, like such as the modeling thing. I need to tell you about that. That's a good story. What I did like a week ago, but and like with the cinema tickets, you know, that creativity of, okay, like I actually got these free cinema tickets. I could just go with them and sell it, and 50 quid every month. Like that's pretty good. You know, stuff like that. Like
You've got to really consider how you
Yeah.
live, which
Yeah.
is because most people just live.
yeah, they just
Yeah.
live from paycheck to paycheck. But this year, I've definitely gone more creative. When you need money and when you're desperate for money, or desperate for a thing to do, your brain actually starts thinking.
Mm.
Because not many people do that. Not many people actually think, right? And like putting yourself in a position of discomfort, because that is always what you should chase. You should always be uncomfortable. Obviously, like take that with a pinch of salt, because you know you could look at that statement from different perspectives, but you should chase discomfort because it forces you to do things that are harder but are more beneficial. You know, like if you're learning a skill, okay, how about I start selling my art? You're gonna learn art,
Yeah.
you know, like stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's like you're forcing yourself to pick the hard options, but you're learning so much more from that.
Mm.
And creating just the untraditional, unconventional, like you said, mindset.
Which allows for growth, and
Yeah.
it's just entirely beneficial for you in later life, because it's just the ability to have a different outlook compared to the conventional safe route.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I very much admire the thought process behind it, how much you truly did think about it and continue to do. Because for me, I'm very, I'm the spontaneous, chaotic kind of live life in the moment, see
Yeah.
where it takes me.
Yeah.
Dropping out of school, there was no thought process behind it other than why not. So,
Well, you've learned from it, you know.
yeah,
You've
yeah.
definitely matured since then. And that was a good experience. Everything happens for a reason. You know?
Mm.
You gotta.
Well, now I'm just hoping to achieve somewhat of a similar thing to you, and just keep my mind open and continually seek out growth and understanding.
I think you'd like it.
Mm.
This grind, this target.
I really would. I've wanted to learn how to draw and paint for a while. Like, I've been interested in it for probably over a year.
Yeah.
It's just starting, isn't it?
Look, you don't have any money right now,
Mm.
right? But you need money to go out, you know, to enjoy yourself. You want money for this summer. Why don't you start drawing?
And then see where that goes.
Research how to actually like make money off drawing. Honestly, I might do the same.
I mean, listen, you've already got the foundation. You're good at it, so.
I'm alright. I'm good at sketching. I'm not good at actually thinking of what to draw because I'm not. I don't know. I'm creative, but I can't think of what to draw ever. Like I'm like, what should I draw? Like
We'll make it abstract art, and then it doesn't really necessarily need to be.
anything.
Yeah, anything.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Mm.
We'll see wherever it takes me, right?